Xiao Yu and Shen Cai are missing Canada a lot. They comes to know that their high school reunion is coming up, and they are both very excited to go. Meanwhile, Mei Zhu and Dao Ming are playing a game on the phone when Mei Zhu receives a video call from Tang Xing. Mei Zhu is speechless and just looks at Dao Ming. Dao Ming talks to Tang Xing and says, "Don't worry, I'm taking care of everything here." He then adds, "Shen Cai and I are dating." Tang Xing is very happy to hear this and says, "My engagement has been cancelled because of my job." Dao Ming is pleased and feels that Mei Zhu now has a chance. However, Mei Zhu seems indifferent and does not react. Dao Ming tries to cheer him up by suggesting they play the game again, but Mei Zhu starts teasing Dao Ming by calling him Shen Cai, which makes Dao Ming angry. Despite this, a sweet moment between them is shown. Later, Xiao Yu and Shen Cai arrive at their reunion party, where they meet their special friend Sibu. Everyone is having a lot of fun. Meanwhile, F4 is at a restaurant, and Heeman sees that Xiao Yu has uploaded reunion photos where Shen Cai looks very dumb. Dao Ming says, "I want to see Shen Cai's photos right away. I should be with my girlfriend." At the party, Shen Cai loses a game and has to drink again. Initially, Sibu says, "I'll drink this for you," but Shen Cai takes the drink from him. As Shen Cai is about to drink it, someone takes the drink from her hand. It turns out to be Dao Ming, who looks at Shen Cai and says, "You were going to drink such a disgusting drink?" Shen Cai asks Dao Ming, "What are you doing here?" Dao Ming replies, "I came to take you, my girlfriend." Everyone is surprised to see that Shen Cai has a boyfriend. Sibu asks Shen Cai, "Is this your boyfriend?" Shen Cai denies it in front of everyone and says, "He's just my senior." This upsets Dao Ming greatly. Sibu then tries to get closer to Shen Cai and mocks Dao Ming. Shen Cai pulls Dao Ming aside and tells him to leave, but Dao Ming refuses and insists that Shen Cai come with him. Sibu gets angry and starts yelling at Dao Ming. Dao Ming's anger reaches a boiling point, and he fights with Sibu, injuring him badly. Meanwhile, F3 arrives outside and hears the sounds of a fight coming from inside the restaurant. Sibu's friends take him to the hospital. Seeing this, F3 understands what must have happened inside. Later, Shen Cai is very angry with Dao Ming and slaps him. She says, "Even though my friends are poor and not as handsome as you, they are still my good friends." Shen Cai then tells Dao Ming, "I hate you," and leaves. Later, Shen Cai is very sad, and Xiao Yu comforts her, saying, "Everything will be fine." The next day, Shen Cai goes to the hospital to meet Sibu and apologizes for everything. Sibu says, "I was very worried for you." He then asks, "Did you have a fight with your boyfriend?" Shen Cai clearly denies, saying, "He's not my boyfriend." Sibu then introduces Shen Cai to his stepbrother, Shampin, and mentions, Shampin is also a freshman at Minda University. In the next scene, F3 practices Dao Ming how to apologize to Shen Cai because she was angry with him. However, Dao Ming's expressions are not serious at all. Dao Ming practices, but fails and gives up. Han Silu then asks Mei Zhu, "If you were in Shen Cai's place, would you forgive Dao Ming?" Mei Zhu says, "If anyone hits my friend without a reason, I'll never forgive them." Dao Ming then tries to apologize again. The next day at college, Dao Ming calls Shen Cai, but she ignores him and leaves. Dao Ming gets very angry. Later in the library, Shen Cai meets Shampin. As they talk and walk, they spot F4. Seeing them, Shen Cai and Shampin hide and overhear F4's conversation. Dao Ming says, "I don't care if Shen Cai ignores me. I don't know what she's so proud of. Her fashion sense is awful, and she doesn't look good. She's very short, her legs are like frog legs, and she looks just like a water buffalo." Chiman adds, "You're right, Shen Cai lacks femininity." Hearing this, Shen Cai feels very hurt. Shampin loudly calls Dao Ming crazy and insane. Before anyone notices them, Shen Cai and Shampin sneak away. Later, Shen Cai and Shampin are eating corn. Shen Cai drops her corn, and Dao Ming, passing by, sees them together and approaches. Dao Ming asks Shampin, "Aren't you the one who called me crazy?" Shampin replies, "Shen Cai is my girlfriend," and tries to protect her from Dao Ming. He then tells Dao Ming to leave. Dao Ming gets angry and starts fighting with Shampin. Shen Cai stops Dao Ming and says, "Why do you always do this? I feel suffocated with you. Just leave me alone." Shen Cai starts to leave, but Dao Ming calls out to her and says, "I like you." He tells Shen Cai, "I'm surprised myself at why I like you so much. Wherever I go, I only see you. If you leave me, I'll follow you, even if you go to Mars." Shen Cai leaves without saying a word. Later, Dao Ming's friends find out he is sad and ignoring them. They decide to convince Shen Cai for Dao Ming. After class, Shen Cai is with Chen when Shampin shows up and takes her with him. They sit somewhere and talk. Shampin tells Shen Cai, "Stay away from Dao Ming," but Shen Cai is very confused about Dao Ming. Shampin also says, "Some of Dao Ming's old friends want to talk to you." Champion then goes to get drinks for them. When he returns, Shenkai is missing. F3 searches for Shenkai and asks Chan about her, but he doesn't know anything. Chan says, "We've been calling Shenkai, but she isn't answering." F3 asks Chan where he last saw Shenkai. Chan tells them Shenkai was with Champion. F3 starts to worry about Shenkai and feels uneasy about Champion. They decide to go to Champion's office to find out more and comes to know that Champion is a dropout from Mingda University. F3 then goes to Dao Ming's house to inform him. Mr. Liu tells them Dao Ming has been unhappy for some time and isn't talking to anyone. They then go to Dao Ming and tell him Shenkai is missing. Meanwhile, Shenkai has been kidnapped. When she regains consciousness, she sees people around her who have tied her up. They beat her and take pictures, which they send to Dao Ming. It is revealed that these people have a grudge against Dao Ming, so they are using Shenkai. Then Champion arrives, and Shenkai realizes that Champion is involved with these people. She can hardly believe it, and asks Champion, "Why did you do this to me?" He says, "My boss wanted revenge on Dao Ming, so they used you." Champion explains to Shenkai, "Dao Ming had fought with my boss before, and that's why my boss's leg was broken. Since then, he's never been able to walk properly. Dao Ming is not good for you at all, and none of this would be happening if Dao Ming weren't in your life." Shenkai replies, "All of this is happening because I trust on you. Dao Ming won't come here at all." Champion says, "Dao Ming confessed his feelings to you that day, and I believe he will definitely come here." Meanwhile, Dao Ming receives a message saying, "Come alone, or it will not be good for Shenkai." So, Dao Ming tells F3, "You can't come with me." Next, Shenkai enrages the kidnappers, and just when they are about to kill her, Dao Ming arrives. Seeing Dao Ming, Shenkai starts crying and says, "Stupid and foolish guy, why did you come here?" Then their boss puts a knife to Shenkai's neck and says to Dao Ming, "If you fight back, Shenkai's neck will be cut." Dao Ming endures a lot of beating from them for Shenkai, and in the end, they leave Dao Ming unconscious and walk away. Later, Shenkai follows Dao Ming and tries to stop him, but Dao Ming doesn't stop and leaves her forever. In the next scene, Shenkai is in the hospital. She realizes it was all a dream that Dao Ming is leaving her. As soon as she regains consciousness, she starts searching for Dao Ming in the hospital. She finds Meizu and asks, "Where is Dao Ming?" Meizu just gestures. Then inside the room are Han Silu and He Men. They tell Shenkai, Dao Ming is no longer in this world. As soon as Shenkai sees Dao Ming, she starts crying and says, "You can't die like this. You have to get up. I need to talk to you and apologize." Seeing Shenkai cry so badly, F3 can't control themselves and start laughing. At that moment, Dao Ming also starts laughing. It turns out F4 had played a prank on Shenkai. Shenkai gets very angry with them and come to know that Dao Ming was once very problematic and irresponsible, and his friends were the ones who changed him. That's why Dao Ming is now very smart. Later, Shampi comes to meet Shenkai and Dao Ming. He apologizes to both of them and then says to Shenkai, "If you weren't Dao Ming's girlfriend, we would have been very good friends." Shenkai and Dao Ming don't care about this anymore. Next, Han Silu, Ji Men, and Meizu praise Dao Ming. They tell Shenkai, "Where else will you find such a smart and intelligent guy? But he sometimes doesn't use his brain. You should seriously think about Dao Ming." Shenkai has nothing to say in response. After much thought, she says, "I explain things to Dao Ming like he's a dog," and then she runs away. Meizu can't control his laughter. In the next scene, Dao Ming has been discharged from the hospital, but is still angry with Shenkai for calling him a dog. His friends explain to him, "What Shenkai meant was that you're cute like a dog," but Dao Ming isn't one to understand that. Next, Shenkai and Meizu meet on the college rooftop as usual. Meizu sees the mark of the injury on Shenkai's neck and puts a bandage on it. He tells Shenkai, "Dao Ming gets very angry, but he also loves you a lot. He should be given a chance." Then Dao Ming arrives and sits between them. Shenkai tells Dao Ming, "You shouldn't have joined college yet because you're not fully recovered." Dao Ming angrily replies, "I am fully recovered because I recover fast like a dog." Hearing this, Meizu starts laughing. After Meizu leaves, Dao Ming tells Shenkai, "My birthday is next week, and you have to come. Also, you need to bring a birthday gift for me." He adds that my mom will be coming to my birthday party, so I will introduce her to you. Shenkai initially refuses, but Dao Ming insists, "You have to come." We see Shenkai at her part-time job, very confused about what to give Dao Ming for his birthday. Xiaoyu tells her, "You are a winner of a big cooking competition. If you use your cooking skills to make something for Dao Ming, he will love it." Shenkai likes this idea very much. She stays up late making something for him. However, we still don't know what Shenkai makes for Dao Ming. Next, Shenkai arrives at the party. Outside, she meets F3 and asks, "Why are you all dressed so formally?" F3 says, "We're not dressed formally, you're underdressed." Shenkai, who had come dressed very simply, hears this. F3 continues, "It's important for you to look your best at today's party because Dao Ming will introduce you to his mom for the first time." They also add, "If Dao Ming is introducing you to his mom, it means you're considered for Dao Ming's future." They warn her, dealing with his mom is very difficult. She is a very high-class, dangerous lady. Shenkai gets scared just hearing this. Then F3 takes Shenkai with them and gives her a new makeover, making her look even better. As Shenkai enters the birthday party, she thinks, "This place is nothing like it is in the movies." Seeing that the party is filled with very rich people, Shenkai starts to feel that no matter how hard I tries, I can never belong here. Dao Ming spots Shenkai and comes over to her. He says, "You look very pretty today." Then Dao Ming asks Shenkai about her gift. Shenkai says, "I forgot to bring it." In truth, Shenkai lies because she was embarrassed to give her gift among all the rich people at the party. As a result, Dao Ming, upset, grabs her hand and starts to take her with him. "I'm taking you to meet my mom." Shenkai is very scared, and in the struggle, Shenkai falls. At that moment, Mrs. Ming arrives and looks at Shenkai with a very disapproving gaze. Shenkai realizes this must be Dao Ming's mom. Dao Ming helps Shenkai up and introduces her, saying, "This is my friend." Mrs. Ming then says, "Leave her outside." But Dao Ming refuses and tells his mom, "Shenkai is very important to me and I like her." Hearing this, his mom starts asking Shenkai about her family background. Although Shenkai tries to explain, Meizu says, Shenkai belongs to a very rich family, but her father's business hasn't gone public yet, so she might not be well known. Mrs. Ming doubts Meizu's claim and says, if Shenkai is from a rich family, she should have many skills. F3 mentions Shenkai's skills, but Mrs. Ming insists, Shenkai, play the violin. Everyone starts to worry about how to save Shenkai since she doesn't know how to play the violin. However, Shenkai surprises everyone by playing the violin very well, and everyone is shocked. Shenkai then tells Mrs. Ming the truth, saying, I don't come from a rich family. I only know how to play one song on the violin. She adds, I am open-hearted and honest. Dao Ming then tells his mom, I don't care what you think of Shenkai. I can't spend my future with anyone else but her. Mrs. Ming becomes angry, and there is a significant argument between Shenkai and Mrs. Ming. In the end, Dao Ming, still angry, takes Shenkai away with him. As they leave, his mom warns him, but Dao Ming doesn't stop. In the car, Shenkai can't believe that Dao Ming fought with his mom for her and left his important party. Dao Ming takes Shenkai to the rooftop of his hotel. Shenkai, who had only seen this hotel on TV, can't believe she is on its rooftop. They spend quality time together. Dao Ming tells Shenkai, I don't care what my mom thinks. She isn't that close to me, and I won't let her control my life. I only like you. Shenkai replies, it won't be that easy, and there are many other girls. Dao Ming responds, if you're with me, I can face any difficulties and I don't care about any other girl. Shenkai then gives Dao Ming his birthday gift, who had made cookies decorated with his hairstyle and various facial expressions. He loves Shenkai's gift, but is also angry. He says, no one has ever given me such a great gift before. And then Dao Ming kisses Shenkai. Meanwhile, Hanzilu and Yimen ask Meizu, when did you teach Shenkai to play the violin? Meizu explains, I taught Shenkai only once. I have no idea whether she practiced afterward. The three are very worried for Dao Ming and Shenkai because they know how dangerous Dao Ming's mom is. A flashback shows Dao Ming's mom telling Dao Ming, stay away from F3. If you stay with them, you'll become hopeless in life. The next morning, Dao Ming goes to Meizu, who is sleeping. Dao Ming excitedly says, I got a birthday gift from Shenkai. Meizu then takes a cookie from Dao Ming's hand and eats it. Dao Ming, looking very angry, says, I haven't even tasted any of the cookies yet. Meanwhile, Mrs. Ming investigates Shenkai through her manager. She discovers Shenkai doesn't come from a rich family, and her father runs a small business. She also learns Shenkai has no special talent, and Dao Ming was hospitalized because of her. Dao Ming helped her in a cooking competition. Mrs. Dao Ming concludes, girls like Shenkai know how to use the Ming family's name. Shenkai can't fool me. She then goes to Shenkai's home and says, I'm offering you money. Keep your daughter away from my son. Shenkai should stay away from Dao Ming. Seeing this, Shenkai's mom becomes furious and pours flour over Mrs. Ming. Shenkai's father supports her and tells Mrs. Ming, leave our house. Embarrassed, Mrs. Ming leaves. After Mrs. Dao Ming leaves, the three of them are very happy because they taught a lesson to the person who insulted their daughter. Then we see Dao Ming taking pictures with the cookies and being very happy while getting angry at Mei Zhu because he had already eaten his favorite cookie. Meanwhile, Mrs. Ming is calling her assistant and planning something for Shen Kai. However, what exactly she plans to do with Shen Kai is still unknown to us. Later, Shen Kai tells Xiao Yu everything, how Dao Ming's mom came to her house, offered her money, and asked her to stay away from Shen Kai and to break up. Xiao Yu is surprised to hear this. Just then, Mrs. Ming's assistant arrives and gives Shen Kai an invitation. Mrs. Ming had invited her to meet at a hotel. Shen Kai initially thinks about it a lot, but then gets ready to go. We then see that Dao Ming's mom has brought him on a blind date. She introduces him to a girl in her family. In fact, she had brought Shen Kai there for a wedding. At that moment, Shen Kai arrives. Mrs. Ming announces, "I invited Shen Kai here as a witness for Dao Ming's future marriage." She introduces Ten Kai to Xiaoxi, whom Dao Ming is supposed to marry, and adds, "She is beautiful, talented, and perfect for Dao Ming." Hearing this, Shen Kai feels very upset, but reluctantly says, "I'm happy for Dao Ming." The girl who was there is just as angry as Dao Ming. She also has no interest in marrying Dao Ming. Dao Ming doesn't hear any of this, and without looking, grabs Xiaoxi's hand and starts running. As he realizes that she is Xiaoxi, not Shen Kai, he starts to leave her behind. Xiaoxi says, "It's your responsibility. Since you brought me here, you must take me home too." Dao Ming refuses to listen, and Xiaoxi clings to his shoulder. Dao Ming asks, "Did you grow up with monkeys?" This makes Xiaoxi angry, and she bites Dao Ming's ear. Dao Ming tries to call Shen Kai, but she doesn't answer. Frustrated, Shen Kai puts his phone inside the fridge. The next day, Shen Kai meets Dao Ming on the cafe terrace and says, "Congratulations on your engagement." Hearing this, Han Silu, Jimen, and Mei Zhu are shocked. Dao Ming responds, "I didn't even know about this myself." Dao Ming tries to explain, but they end up arguing, and Shen Kai leaves. Later, Xiaoxi goes to Dao Ming's college to meet him, but first sees Shen Kai and says, "Dao Ming is very weird, and he left me alone yesterday." At that moment, F4 arrives. Seeing Xiaoxi, Dao Ming says, "Monkey, what are you doing here?" Xiaoxi replies, "Because of you, I was in pain yesterday." Dao Ming is angry and says, "My mom can't decide who I marry." Xiaoxi responds, "I won't marry according to my mom's wishes either, but now that I like you, I will marry you." Xiaoxi then publicly reveals, "I bit Dao Ming's ear yesterday." Shen Kai becomes very jealous. Xiaoxi tells Dao Ming, "Starting today, I will train you because I am your fiancé, and I want to go on dates before the wedding." Hearing this, Dao Ming gets angry and starts to attack Xiaoxi, but his friends stop him. Xiaoxi says to Dao Ming, "The naughtier you are, the more I will stay with you." Seeing this, Shen Kai feels very upset and leaves. We see Xiaoxi following Shen Kai and forcibly taking her for coffee. There, Xiaoxi asks, "Have you ever liked anyone?" "I think Mei Zhu likes you. Let me date Dao Ming. If he starts liking me, then you should understand that Dao Ming is a playboy, and we will both dump him. If Dao Ming doesn't like me, then it means he only likes you." Shen Kai agrees. "Your idea seems reasonable. Let's go with it." That night, Dao Ming and Shen Kai meet. Dao Ming tries to explain, "I don't like Xiaoxi." Shen Kai counters, "At first, I didn't like Xiaoxi either, but later I realized she's a nice girl. She's smart and rich. Your mom likes her too, so you should give her a chance. You'll end up liking her." Dao Ming, devastated, says, "I misunderstood you," and leaves sadly. Shen Kai thinks, "I'm such an idiot. I've hurt Dao Ming again." Later, when Dao Ming goes home, F3 notice his sadness and realize it's because of Xiaoxi. They consider talking to Xiaoxi to fix things between Dao Ming and Shen Kai. However, Mei Zhu says, this is Dao Ming's problem. The next day, Han Shilu and Heman take Xiaoxi for shopping. Xiaoxi constantly complains about the items and keeps sending them back for more. Han Shilu and Shiman comply, not wanting Xiaoxi to date Dao Ming. Later at tea shop, Han Shilu and Shiman tell Shen Kai, "Xiaoxi troubled us a lot today and made us shop excessively." Xiaoxi then tells Shen Kai, "I couldn't go on a date with Dao Ming today because of them." Later, they all go to a cafe. Shen Kai shares, "Dao Ming's mom came to my house and even offered me money." Han Silu asks, "You should have told Dao Ming about this. How will he know?" Shen Kai responds, "I don't want to." In the next scene, Mrs. Ming meets Mei Zhu and says, "I know Shen Kai liked you before, but since you didn't start a relationship with her, Shen Kai went to Dao Ming." Mei Zhu replies, "You've misunderstood. Dao Ming likes Shen Kai. Mrs. Dowming continues, I know there are financial issues with your dad's company, and I don't want to see your mom to be in trouble. I want to help. Mrs. Ming indirectly asks Meizu to give their relationship another chance to separate Dao Ming and Shen Kai. Meizu responds, I trust your son more than I trust you. I know Dao Ming will never leave Shen Kai. Shen Kai is my friend, and I will always protect her. I will never let her be hurt. Later, Shen Kai comes home and finds Xiaoxi standing outside her house crying. Xiaoxi says, Dao Ming is ready to go on a date with me. Shen Kai is shocked. Shen Kai is very sad about this, but doesn't say anything for Xiaoxi's happiness. She doesn't feel like attending classes and is very sad. Later, while trying to appear normal with Jimen and Meizu, they all realize that Shen Kai is very sad. Meanwhile, Dao Ming is on a date with Xiaoxi. Xiaoxi tries her best to keep Dao Ming happy, but Dao Ming is not comfortable with her at all, and it seems like he went on the date with Xiaoxi reluctantly. At night, Xiaoxi comes to Dong's house and starts telling her everything about the date. She says, I wore that new lipstick and we went to that fancy restaurant, but Dao Ming wasn't romantic with me at all. Shen Kai is not at all interested in listening to this, though she has to because Xiaoxi is her friend. The next day at college, Shen Kai says to Meizu, can you talk to Dao Ming and explain that he should treat Xiaoxi well? Otherwise, she'll come to me every day. Meizu replies, it's Dao Ming's problem. It would be better if we don't interfere. Just then, Shen Kai and Meizu see Xiaoxi at college, who has come to meet Dao Ming. Dao Ming scolds her. Why are you here? Can't you just leave me alone? Xiaoxi retorts, I am your girlfriend. Can't you behave nicely with me? Then she tells Dao Ming, if you don't like Shen Kai, kiss me right now. Dao Ming kisses Xiaoxi, perhaps to forget Shen Kai. Seeing this, Shen Kai's heart breaks, and she starts crying. I'm very happy, she says, but Meizu understands that Shen Kai is very sad. Shen Kai doesn't feel like doing any work and can't concentrate on her studies at college. She is lost in thoughts at home. Later, Shen Kai and Meizu meet at a tea restaurant. Meizu tells Shen Kai, it's very cold outside. You should wear warm clothes. While they are talking, Dao Ming and Xiaoxi also arrive at the restaurant and join them. Dao Ming sits with them reluctantly. Xiaoxi starts talking about her and Dao Ming's relationship. She says, you both look good together, then invites them to join her and Dao Ming at a resort hotel. Shen Kai refuses to go, but Meizu agrees. Meanwhile, Mrs. Ming's assistant informs her, Dao Ming and Xiaoxi went to the hotel together, but Shen Kai and Meizu are also with them. Hearing this, Mrs. Dao Ming says, Shen Kai has understood that she has no chance with Dao Ming now, so she is focusing on Meizu. At the resort, Xiaoxi tells Shen Kai and Meizu, you both look good together. They don't respond. Meizu then leaves to take a hot spring bath. Xiaoxi asks Shen Kai, do you like Meizu? On this, Dao Ming replies, Shen Kai likes Meizu very much. Xiaoxi then takes Shen Kai for a hot spring shower. There, Xiaoxi continues talking about herself, and Shen Kai listens reluctantly. After a while, Shen Kai faints. Xiaoxi goes outside to inform about this. Dao Ming starts to go there but gets delayed, and Meizu takes Shen Kai to the room. As soon as Shen Kai regains consciousness, she asks Meizu, who brought me here? Meizu responds, I brought you here. Shen Kai then asks, did you change my dress? Meizu says, yes, because I had no other option. Hearing this, Shen Kai asks, did you see everything? Meizu says, yes. Meanwhile, Xiaoxi tried to get close to Dao Ming, but Dao Ming, frustrated, said, I don't feel anything for you. I only like Shen Kai. Xiaoxi started yelling, and Shen Kai and Meizu heard the sound of things falling from their room. Shen Kai went to their room to check, and when she saw the condition they were in, her heart broke because Dao Ming and Xiaoxi had been very close at that time. She starts crying and went back to her room, where Meizu was her only support. Dao Ming told Xiaoxi, no matter what you do or how much you hurt me, I will never feel for you the way I feel for Shen Kai. Hearing this, Xiaoxi realized that no matter how hard she tried, Dao Ming would never be mine. She starts crying and tells Dao Ming, you were the first boy I liked. Dao Ming hugged her and apologized. The next day, Shen Kai thought Xiaoxi and Dao Ming is in a relationship, so she is very tense. Dao Ming then came to her and said, I'm going home. Please inform Meizu. Shen Kai goes to Xiaoxi's room at her request, where Xiaoxi pretends that everything is fine between her and Dao Ming. Shen Kai and Meizu stay at the resort, and Meizu says, it is because of Dao Ming that you got hurt so much. You don't need to be so strong. You can cry to lessen your sorrow. Shen Kai then rests her head on Meizu's shoulder and starts crying. When Shen Kai returns home, she finds out that her dad has suffered a business loss, so her parents will have to go to the village for a few days, leaving Shen Kai alone. This news makes Shen Kai very sad. Meanwhile, after returning from the hotel, Xiaoxi is very sad. Her mom asks her about it, but Xiaoxi doesn't say anything. Her mom then says, Shen Kai went with you, so surely she must have done something. Xiaoxi can't bear to hear this and says, Shen Kai is my good friend, and I can't hear anything bad about her. Xiaoxi then goes to Shen Kai's house. Although Shen Kai thinks Xiaoxi and Dao Ming are in a relationship, Xiaoxi tells her, Dao Ming and I have broken up. Shen Kai feels neither happy nor sad because Xiaoxi is also her good friend. Before leaving, Xiaoxi tells Shen Kai, Dao Ming said he only likes you, and that you are the only one in his thoughts. Later, Dao Ming tells his mom, I've ended everything with Xiaoxi. I won't marry her because I only like Shen Kai. His mom flatly refuses. Dao Ming says, you can't control my life. His mom replies, since I gave birth to you, you will have to do what I say. Angrily, Dao Ming says, it would have been better if I wasn't your son. In the next scene, F3 visits Shen Kai's house to keep her company because she is alone. They all have a party together. A little later, Mrs. Ming enters and starts bad-mouthing Shen Kai again, criticizing her family's lifestyle. She also says, if your parents had accepted the money, they wouldn't have to go to the village today. Shen Kai can't bear this insult anymore. She tells them, if you are so concerned about your son, you should put a dog's collar around his neck and keep him with you all the time. I have no interest in your money, and you are the worst people I have ever met. She then tells them to get out of her house. After being so insulted, Mrs. Ming leaves without saying anything. As soon as she leaves, Shen Kai turns around, and F3 starts clapping for her because no one has ever dared to speak to Mrs. Ming like that. Shen Kai is the only one who has the courage to stand up to her. F3 is very happy for Dao Ming because he has broken up with Xiaoxi. Mei Zhu then asks Shen Kai what she will do next, since Dao Ming's mom won't leave her easily. Everyone advises Shen Kai to be careful of Dao Ming's mom. A little later, Shen Kai realizes that she has said too much to Dao Ming's mom. Mei Zhu suggests a solution, saying, you should go away with Dao Ming. F3 gives Shen Kai different solutions, but she doesn't like any of their ideas. That night, Shen Kai's landlord tells her, you need to vacate the house due to personal reasons. Shen Kai has no choice but to leave. She packs her things and vacates the house. She wants to inform her family but decides not to because of their problems. Meanwhile, F3 tells Dao Ming, Shen Kai answers your mom and silences her. Dao Ming, hearing this, is very happy. He says, I'm glad Shen Kai is with me in this fight. I'm not alone anymore. Eager to see Shen Kai, Dao Ming heads to meet her. F3 warns him, you'll need to protect Shen Kai now. Your mom can do anything to her. Later, Shen Kai sits outside her house with nowhere else to go when Dao Ming arrives and hugs her. He says, I'm very happy because now you won't let my mom come between us. I'll do my best to protect you. Seeing Shen Kai's luggage, he asks, where are you going? Shen Kai replies, I've been kicked out of the house. Dao Ming insists, you're coming with me. He then forcefully takes her to his house. As she tries to leave, Dao Ming stops her. Just then, Mrs. Yu, Dao Ming's grandmother, arrives and says, your mom has gone to London, so she sent me to bring you here. Dao Ming introduces his grandmother saying, this is my friend Shen Kai. She'll stay here for a few days. Mrs. Yu then says, if Shen Kai stays here, she'll have to do all the household work. Dao Ming protests, Shen Kai won't do any work here. Mrs. Yu responds, even your father never spoke to me like that. Young people always take their words for granted. Dao Ming continues to argue with his grandmother. At this point, Shen Kai says, I don't want to stay here for free. I'm ready to do all the work. Dao Ming, upset, tells her, I didn't bring you here to make you a servant. But Shen Kai doesn't hear him at all. This makes Dao Ming angry, and he says, I'm leaving. Then we see Dao Ming's grandmother, who comes to wake Shen Kai up in the morning for work. She is surprised to find Shen Kai already awake and says, I've already completed all your work. Dao Ming's grandmother checks the work and points out there are numerous unnecessary mistakes. Shen Kai's next task is to wake Dao Ming up. She goes to his room and sees him sleeping soundly. She says, time to wake up, Dao Ming. As soon as Dao Ming wakes up, he hugs Shen Kai and says, good morning. Shen Kai responds, get dressed. Later, Dao Ming apologizes to Shen Kai saying, I'm sorry on behalf of my mom. Dao Ming is talking closely with Shen Kai when his grandmother arrives. Dao Ming says, you should have knocked before entering. The grandmother retorts, has the boy who used to wet his bed until 3rd grade grown up so much? Hearing this, Shen Kai laughs, and Dao Ming says, stop it. Dao Ming then asks his grandmother, did my mom send you to spy on me? The grandmother replies, I'm not a puppet. I'll do whatever I want. Dao Ming and Shen Kai go to college together. Han Zilu and Jimin ask Dao Ming, how do you feel now that Shen Kai is staying at your house? Dao Ming looking at Mei Zhu and says, I can see the one I like every day. From Dao Ming's words, it is clear that he is still insecure about Mei Zhu later. Dao Ming tells F3, I've applied to stay at the college for 2 years, so Shen Kai and I can stay together. Han Zilu asks, Have you told Shenkai about it? Dao Ming replies, I'll tell her soon. Meanwhile, Shenkai feels awkward because she likes staying with Dao Ming. At night, Shenkai asks Dao Ming, do you want to have dinner? Dao Ming says, you need to dine with me too. Shenkai refuses, saying, Miss Yu will be upset. Dao Ming insists, we're having dinner together. Shenkai then invites all the maids in the house for dinner and tells Dao Ming, now we can have dinner together. Dao Ming gets very angry and says, I only wanted to have dinner with you. He leaves, saying, I'll meet you at midnight. Shenkai wonders, why does Dao Ming want to meet me at midnight, and makes plans to avoid him. Finally, she decides to run away from the house. As soon as she steps out of her room, Dao Ming is waiting for her and says, got you. Dao Ming then takes Shenkai to the poolside where a telescope is set up. Seeing this, Shenkai realizes, so this is why Dao Ming called me here. They look at the stars through the telescope, and it is very beautiful. Shenkai says, I wish I could see this view every day. Dao Ming tells her, close your eyes and make a wish. It might come true. As soon as Shenkai closes her eyes, Dao Ming puts a diamond necklace around her neck. Shenkai protests, I can't accept this, it must be very expensive. Dao Ming insists, it's special and you can't refuse it. Then he asks, will you be my girlfriend? And kisses her. Shenkai responds, if I can't feel the same way you do and can only give you 10% of my feelings. She sees Dao Ming's face fall with hurt. Dao Ming pleads, just give me a chance. If you don't like me after a month, I promise I'll never bother you again. I just need a chance. He asks, can you give me your answer at 7 out in the morning? Shenkai agrees. The next morning, Shenkai comes to clean Dao Ming's room and tells him, I'll date you for a month. Dao Ming is thrilled and dances with joy. Soon, everyone at college finds out that Dao Ming and Shenkai are officially dating. Other girls at college feel very jealous of Shenkai and wish they were in her place. Meanwhile, Chen, who likes Shenkai, is also very jealous, but Hanzilu and Jimin console him. In the next scene, Shenkai tells Xiaoxi about her new relationship with Dao Ming. Xiaoxi is excited and says, I'm so happy for you. After all these days, you two are finally together. Xiaoxi then suggests, how about a double date with my boyfriend this weekend? Bring Dao Ming along. Shenkai likes the idea and agrees, curious to see who Xiaoxi's boyfriend is. Later, Shenkai goes to Dao Ming and asks, would you like to go on a date with me? Hearing this, Dao Ming and F3 are shocked because Shenkai asked Dao Ming on a date for the first time. Dao Ming is very excited and agrees to go on the date. Then Shenkai says Xiaoxi and her boyfriend will also come on the date, so it will be a double date. Hearing this, Dao Ming refuses, saying, I'm not ready to go on a date with them. Dao Ming's friends try to convince him to go along, and Shenkai also tries to persuade him. But Dao Ming, angry, flatly refuses and leaves, making Shenkai angry too. The next day, Shenkai meets Xiaoxi and her boyfriend. Xiaoxi's boyfriend greets Shenkai with a hello, making her feel a bit uncomfortable. Xiaoxi then asks about Dao Ming, and Shenkai tells her Dao Ming had some work at home so he couldn't come. But just then, Dao Ming arrives and seeing him makes Shenkai very happy. Dao Ming is uncomfortable with Xiaoxi and her boyfriend, but he endures it for Shenkai's happiness. Xiaoxi then asks Shenkai, do you like my boyfriend? And Shenkai says yes. However, from her expression, it is clear that Shenkai doesn't like him at all. Xiaoxi's boyfriend asks Dao Ming, do you smoke? Dao Ming denies it. The boyfriend then calls Dao Ming a kid and tries to assure him. Dao Ming remains silent despite this because Xiaoxi is Shenkai's friend, and he doesn't want to ruin their date. Shenkai is very happy seeing Dao Ming put so much effort into their relationship. They then go to a haunted house and have a lot of fun. Shenkai laughs at Dao Ming because he got scared of a female ghost in the haunted house. They are very happy, and just as Dao Ming is about to kiss Shenkai, Xiaoxi and her boyfriend arrive. Xiaoxi's boyfriend asks Dao Ming, do you drink? Dao Ming denies it. The boyfriend then starts teasing Dao Ming, which makes him very angry, but he controls himself. Dao Ming then follows Xiaoxi's boyfriend, who is flirting with other girls, and asks Dao Ming to join in, saying, Shenkai and Xiaoxi are very boring. Hearing this, Dao Ming knocks him out in one blow. Just then, Shenkai and Xiaoxi arrive. Shenkai asks Dao Ming, why did you hit Xiaoxi's boyfriend? Dao Ming says nothing and tells Xiaoxi, you chose your boyfriend from the trash, before leaving. Shenkai apologizes to Xiaoxi and her boyfriend and then leaves as well. When Shenkai arrives home, she is very angry with Dao Ming and asks, why did you hit Xiaoxi's boyfriend? Dao Ming doesn't tell her anything. Shenkai says, you'll have to apologize to him. Dao Ming flatly refuses, and they have a fight, after which Shenkai leaves. F3 is standing outside the room, listening to their conversation and comments, these two came back from a date and are already fighting. Meizu says, their relationship is very difficult. It's only been 4 days. Outside, Shenkai clearly tells F3, I've broken up with Dao Ming. The next day, Shenkai apologizes to Xiaoxi saying, I'm sorry for everything. Xiaoxi responds, Dao Ming really likes you, which is why he came here for you. As they are talking, Xiaoxi's boyfriend arrives with another girl. He says, Xiaoxi is so boring. She only goes to the library or park on dates. Hearing this, Xiaoxi leaves in embarrassment. Shenkai then approaches Xiaoxi's boyfriend, who complains, I'm bored with Xiaoxi. She doesn't even let me kiss her. And your boyfriend is weird too. He didn't interact with the pretty girls I introduced him to. You're boring too. Shenkai can't tolerate this, and like Dao Ming, knocks him out before leaving. Meanwhile, heartbroken Xiaoxi is sitting by the roadside and crying. Jimin sees her and says, let me take you home. Xiaoxi tells him, I saw my boyfriend with another girl today and he called me boring. Jimin consoles her saying, you don't need to compare yourself with other girls. Your boyfriend doesn't know how to respect women, and he needs to be taught a lesson. They head out, and Jimin asks Xiaoxi where her ex might be. Xiaoxi mentions a bar and says he will be there. Before going to the bar, Jimin calls Dao Ming and says, come to the bar. Xiaoxi also messages Shenkai to come. At the bar, Xiaoxi's ex is with another girl. Jimin approaches him. The girl with Xiaoxi's ex recognizes Jimin as an F4 member and starts flirting with him. Jimin replies, I have a girlfriend, and brings Xiaoxi over. Xiaoxi's ex is shocked and asks, what are you doing here? Did you change your boyfriend in one day? Jimin pretends to ask Xiaoxi, do you know him? Xiaoxi denies it. Just then, Shenkai and Dao Ming arrive, and Xiaoxi's ex starts bad-mouthing Xiaoxi again, accusing her of bringing Jimin to make him jealous. He then mocks F4, calling them losers. Hearing this, Jimin and Dao Ming get angry and punch him. Later, the girl with Xiaoxi's ex gets a drink from Jimin. He apologizes. Sorry about today. Outside, Shenkai and Dao Ming are arguing, and Jimin and Xiaoxi doesn't disturb them and start to leave. Shenkai tries to stop Xiaoxi, but Dao Ming says, don't worry, Jimin isn't interested in a cute girl like Xiaoxi, he'll just drop her home. Dao Ming then tells Shenkai, you worry so much about others' relationships, but what about your own? It's been a month. I want an answer about us. Shenkai doesn't give a clear answer, and Dao Ming doesn't press further and starts to leave. Shenkai hugs Dao Ming from behind and says, let's make our relationship official. Dao Ming is thrilled, saying, I'm happy to get your answer a month earlier. In the next scene, Dao Ming and Shenkai test each other. When Shenkai asks, Dao Ming answers all questions correctly. Shenkai then says, okay, I'll give you a free meal as a reward. Dao Ming asks for something else and kisses her on the forehead. Their entire conversation is overheard by Dao Ming's grandmother, who is laughing, showing she has no problem with their relationship. Next, we see Han Zilu attending a piano concert. Coincidentally, Kaina is also there, and their seats are nearby. After the concert, Kaina says, I don't think it's a coincidence that our seats are close. Han Zilu responds, I got the ticket from the pianist. However, it turns out that Han Zilu arranged all this to get close to Kaina. Han Zilu says, my family organized the show, so arranging the seating was a common thing for me. He then goes to meet the pianist, and Kaina also wants to meet him, so she goes with Han Zilu. Han Zilu introduces Kaina to the pianist, saying, she is my girlfriend. At that moment, Kaina stays silent, and they take a picture together. Outside, Han Zilu explains to Kaina, if I had called you a normal friend, it would have been disrespectful in front of the pianist. That's why I called you my girlfriend. Han Zilu is very interested in Kaina, but she doesn't show much interest in him. She then offers to take Han Zilu for a drink as a return favor. At the bar, Kaina doesn't drink anything. Han Zilu asks, why aren't you drinking? Kaina replies, I don't remember anything after drinking. Han Zilu assures her, even if you get drunk, I'll drop you home. Kaina starts drinking without worry and soon gets drunk. A man named Terrence comes over and says hello to Kaina. Han Zilu asks, do you know him? Kaina responds, yes, he was my summer break boyfriend. Han Zilu is shocked. Terrence tries to get close to Kaina, but Han Zilu tells him, stay away from her. We then see a flashback where Kaina is enjoying her summer break and meets Terrence. They become very good friends, and Kaina drinks and gets close to Terrence. The next morning, she wakes up next to him, feels very regretful, and leaves quietly without saying anything. In the present, we see Kaina at home. As soon as she wakes up, she remembers everything from last night at the bar with Han Zilu. And with this, the episode ends. So guys, if you liked this episode, let me know in comments. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for the next episode.